Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Graham, this is the Jedi Knights Watch, and this is the video you've all been waiting to see. This is my 2023 Hot Toys collection tour, and I know it's been a little bit. I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time, but I wanted to wait for a couple figures to come in. I also wanted to get my new module cases set up. That's all done, so now it's time to rock and roll. If you're new to the channel, I want to invite you to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell so you don't miss any new content coming your way. I would sure love to get to 4,000 subscribers by this summer, and I can't meet that goal without each and every one of you. So we're going to take a look at all these figures in the cases. We're going to go kind of like line by line here. We'll go through Star Wars, Marvel, and DC. And why not just start right there with all of my Star Wars figures. So for each kind of category here, we're just going to pan through, and I'll give you kind of a little bit of a sneak of what we're going to be looking at. But I am collecting the original trilogy Star Wars and Mandalorian. I cut down because there was just too many options in Star Wars and I didn't want to go crazy. So without further ado, we have, kicking it off, it's actually not Hot Toys at all. It is the C-3PO and R2-D2 from Sideshow. I was actually, I got the C-3PO from Will Foxification for a great deal, so thank you, Will. And they both do good for standing in until the Hot Toys makes their own. But here is a grail upon grails. It is the Obi-Wan from A New Hope. I love the head sculpt. I love this figure. Actually sold my Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan to get him. Next to him, we have Chewbacca and Han Solo from A New Hope as well, and we're going to kind of go in chronological order of the movies. The Chewie isn't bad. If you get really close, you know, he looks a little messed up, but he is a lot better than the Force Awakens Chewie, so I think this one's pretty good, especially if you're a couple feet away. The Han Solo is a work of art, another great head sculpt. I don't think it gets enough appreciation in the community, but it is very, very good. I like this pose that I have him in. And if I do say that this figure's awesome or I love this pose, I apologize. Of course I love all this because these are all my figures. But next to him we have Rogue One Vader, and I know this one technically isn't going to be original trilogy, but he's my stand-in for A New Hope because I just think this figure looks badass. We have Empire Strikes Back Yoda. I sold the Attack of the Clones to get this one. That likeness might be a little bit better, but I really do love this figure. Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. The detail in the paintwork is great. I love the chips and the dents and all that in the armor. This is a really good looking figure. If I can only have one Boba Fett, it would be this one right here. A newer figure is Lando Calrissian from Bespin. And I love the blue, the contrast that this has. The sculpt is good. He's kind of working on his watch right there. Got him in a cool pose. And I actually did fix the collar. It's glued so that it doesn't pop out. And then we do have Snowspeeder Luke, another one that pops on the shelf because it's got this bright orange. I love the two-tone color here. Everything going on in the outfit. Just have him in a simple pose, kind of holding his helmet. So if you notice something about me too, I am more of a museum pose collector. I like to have them in something simple, but yet something natural, I guess is what I'd say. Here we have Return of the Jedi Stormtrooper. I love this one a lot. I love the green kind of lenses in the helmet itself. Looks really good. One of my biggest steals that I've ever gotten is the Emperor. I do have the throne, and I got this thing for really cheap on Amazon, so it was a great deal. I love how this Emperor looks, just kind of in that old man pose. Looks great. One of my favorite styles of Stormtroopers is actually the Scout Trooper. Love the helmet, just love the look. I always loved Return of the Jedi growing up, so this one was a must for me. I do not have the speeder. Space. I mean, I know I have the module cases, but it is what it is. Maybe one day. Then we do have Wicket and Leia, the 2-pack here. And Wicket I thought turned out really good. I know some people had some issues, but I think it looks spot on. And then we do have Princess Leia. This head sculpt they've definitely used a lot. It could be better, but I do see Carrie Fisher in there. I love, again, the Endor style. And then we go to the Mandalorian. We have Boba Fett. Again, another one here that I picked up super cheap, super under retail. Some people call it the bird poop Boba, but it does look really good again with the paint applications and just all the detail in the armor. We do have the Child and the Season 1 Mandalorian with the Beskar armor. I will be likely getting the new Chrome Mando and then selling this one, but we'll see. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. And then we do have Bo-Katan in a action pose, and all three of these guys together just look really good. I do have Ahsoka coming. I do have a Transport Trooper coming as well, so we will add to that line. But next, we're going to go down to Marvel. It's mainly going to be collecting Avengers and then Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, this is one where I'm on a budget, so I have to be super selective. So typically, most of my figures, I'm going to have like one variant of each character. So I picked the Avengers. And starting off, we do have the Civil War Black Panther here. I got a pretty good deal on that one, so I kept him instead of getting the solo movie. We do have Black Widow from Endgame, and I do really love this figure. I think it's the best one. Captain America from Endgame. I've thought about posing him without the helmet on, but I kind of go back and forth on that. And it's another good figure, a little bit thick on the outfit, so it is a little hard to pose. My ideal Iron Man is the 85 battle damage here. I love this one. I may get another one that's just fully suited eventually, but this, if I had to have one, it would be it. And then we do have Professor Hulk in his kind of pajama jumpsuit. This is not my favorite Hulk, but it is the one that was readily available to me, so it is the one that I picked up. And then we do have Spider-Man, the upgraded suit, very clean, very cool with the black and the red, in a simple pose because I really don't want to wrinkle or damage the suit. So, obviously we could do a lot more with the figure, but I want to keep him intact. And then we do have Hawkeye, a figure that I've had a hard time getting into a pose that I really like. So for now, he's kind of standing with his bow. I've had him kind of in an action pose, but changed it up. And then we do have Ant-Man as well. Really cool suit. I love the metallic reds. No, I don't have the smiling head sculpt on here right now, but I think this shelf looks really good here. And I might add Doctor Strange and some others in the future. I do have Thor kind of next to the Guardians just to balance things out. He is more of an Avenger, obviously, but he did spend some time with the Guardians, so we do have Bro Thor there from Endgame. And then we do have Gamora. I think the rooted hair looks okay. I've seen a lot worse, and I think the likeness is good. She does have a little bit of a dead stare, but I think it works with the pose that I have her in here. And then we do have Nebula. I love this figure. She looks great. I love the pose that I have her in here. As we back up, you just kind of see she's got attitude, and that's definitely the character. And then Battle Damage Thanos. I love this figure. I love the gauntlet. I love just all the damage to the armor. It's a little bit soft in some places, but the head sculpt you can't beat. Plus, just everything together with the armor, it just looks great. I love it. We do have Star-Lord. This is technically from Infinity War, but another good figure. I do want the long trench coat, but at the same time, I guess it's just more pleather that could go bad. One of my newer Marvel figures is a personal grail of mine, and it is Yondu. I love this figure. I'm so happy that I got him in the collection. It was a bumpy road, but I finally added him. He looks great with the rest of the Guardians. Hopefully we get a Drax. And then I do have the 2-pack of Rocket and Groot from Infinity War. Rocket's a great figure. I would like the Endgame one eventually, but he's good for now. And then I love Teenage Groot. I got him playing the video games here, and it's just kind of the pose I've always had him in, just because it screams Teenage Groot, where he's just when he's in that attitude stage of his life. But going to DC Comics, this isn't going to be any specific. DC doesn't make as many figures as maybe Marvel or Star Wars, so I just kind of collect the DC ones that I like. I've definitely sold a lot of them off recently, but I've kept the ones that I really mean something to me. And the Mime Joker is a special one right there. I love the look of this. It's just a different, unique Joker. I think the head sculpt looks really good. It might be better than the DX8, but it's just a cool figure. It didn't sell well while it was in stock. I did get a different stand on eBay. And then we do have the 89 Batman. He does have a custom cape. Can't remember who made this one. I did get it from a collector off of Facebook. But this is a great figure. If and when he is actually reissued, it's going to be great for a lot of people to get. I'll probably get another one because the purrs are broken in that one. Then we do have the DX8 Joker. This is one of my favorites in the collection. I love the jumpsuit, the head sculpt. I love the accessories that come with it. I love the 89 movie. It's the first movie I saw in the theaters with my dad, so it's definitely got a special meaning. And then a figure I was on the fence about getting is the Batman Forever of the Val Kilmer. He does look good. You can't do a lot of posing with him because he's in that thick rubber suit. But I gotta say the likeness is great. It's a different look to Batman. He's kind of got like this bluish, grayish shine to him that stands out from the other Batman figures. So I will be getting Robin. He is coming probably in the next month or two. Harley Quinn is another must if you're a DC fan. I love everything about Margot Robbie and the character she played in Suicide Squad. I think she did great. She was probably the bright spot of the movie, but man, if you are a Harley fan, that's the one to get. We do have Snyder Cut Justice League Superman. I did sell the Justice League, the blue suit Superman to get this. I don't regret it, but I don't know if this one's that a lot better. It's the same head sculpt. I do like that the arms are more, they naturally go down to his side, so that's nice. My very first figure was this BVS Batman. I got him for a great deal loose, and then I just picked up an art box afterwards. And this figure will probably never leave the collection because this is one of my favorite looks to Batman. And I thought Affleck did a great job. And then my newest figure is the Wonder Woman 84. This thing came out really good. Is the head sculpt 100%? No, I'd probably say it's like 90%. But I love the sculpted hair. I love the pose that I have her in here. I love the silicone body. This is another one that is really good with the colors and just pops on the shelf. Has a lot of presence. So if you're in the market for a Wonder Woman, I do think this is the one to get. And then the other part of that Snyder Cut 2-pack is the Nightmare Batman. I did keep my custom coat on because I just like how it looks better. But this is also a great one to get if you're a Batman fan. It's a different look to Batman, one that we're not used to seeing. And that nightmare scene was just so badass in the movie. That's one of my favorite scenes in any superhero movie, is that Nightmare Batman. And you just don't see him with a trench coat. So there you have it. There's the DC stuff. And we're going to stay with DC, but we're going to get into some DC vehicles. I did get a couple vehicles over the last year. And if you have the room, if you can afford it, they are great to have. They have such presence. They really just kind of put your collection over the top. So without further ado, let's take a closer look. We do have the 1992 Batman Returns figure here. I gotta say, I kind of like this one more than the 89. The 89 is more iconic, but I love the suit in the Batman Returns movie. And then you can just see the Batmobile behind him. It's got this, it's all plastic, and this was used, and I got it for a really good deal. There are some scratches on it, but I think overall, this is one of my favorite pieces as well, and this will never leave the collection unless I upgrade to like the newer version of the Batmobile if it's ever reissued. And then we do have kind of a Dark Knight setup going there. We have the DX19, great figure. The body looks great. If they only put the same amount of work into the Batman Begins figure as they did this one, I think that one would look a lot better. But we have him next to the Batpod. It's a great piece. It's not too expensive. It is kind of fragile, so do be careful. Speaking of fragile, we do have the Tumbler. Those fins are very fragile, but I love the back end of this thing. I love the beefiness to it. I love the tires. Then we have Bane, the Hot Toys Bane with a Fison body. I will be upgrading to the new Bane figure, and I can't wait for that to come out. This one is a nice placeholder, but it doesn't have the look that one will have. The proportions aren't the greatest, and the clothes don't fit the greatest either. So moving on, we have kind of like the miscellaneous figures from different 80s and 90s movies and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't have as many of these. I have sold a couple off, but Hot Toys doesn't make as many of the miscellaneous franchises as well. So let's just jump into it and take a closer look at what we have, and we'll start with Terminator from Terminator 1. This is a great figure. I love the two head sculpts that come with it, the battle damage. That coat is prone to peeling. Mine is not peeling yet, but it is something that worries me. But it is an awesome looking figure. The controversial Doc Brown from Back to the Future 1. He is good, but it is the same head sculpt as Back to the Future 2, and you can see those notches in the head sculpt, but the outfit is awesome. The detail in the control that I can't get to focus here. but also the tool belt and all the tools that you kind of get to put in. It was really fun kind of putting this figure together. I am glad that I have him, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit let down with the end product. And we do have Marty from Back to the Future 1. This is the 2.0. I like this one a lot. He came out really well, and he goes well with Doc. And then RoboCop from the first movie. I think I will be getting the RoboCop that is coming out with that blue tint just to kind of put next to him, but this is such a great figure too, and it is one of Hot Toys' best that they've ever done. Speaking of best that they've ever done, Terminator 2, the DX-13 battle damage. Look at that detail in the head sculpt, in the clothes. You know, there's battle damage everywhere. He's got his arm missing. This thing is the true definition of a DX. He comes with a ton of stuff, and you can do a ton of different looks with him, a bunch of accessories. And then we do have the classic Jungle Hunter, and I do have him on the Thanos base because Thanos doesn't fit on it in the case. But I think this Predator looks really good, and this is kind of a good one that could kind of be used for like the Predator 1 movie. And then we have Predator 2, the City Hunter. I really want to get the Ancient Predator and maybe the Elder Predator back, but these two are staples for any Predator fan, and they look really good. It would be cool to just army build with Predators, but maybe one day when I have more funds, right? Now we're going to get into some TMNT. I don't have a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff anymore, but you will see, and these aren't Hot Toys. They're going to be quarter scale, and they are from NECA, but I do think that this is NECA's best work that they've ever done. Again, quarter scale, so they're really nice and big, have a lot of detail from the 1990 movie, and this is also a staple in my childhood for one of my favorite movies ever. And I gotta say, they're probably gonna stay in my collection unless somehow Hot Toys picks up the license for TMNT, the 1990 movie. If they can make these in 1/6 scale, then I might let these go, but otherwise, yeah, these things probably aren't gonna go anywhere just because they look so cool, and that nostalgia factor is just so prominent from the movie. I love these guys, and yeah, and they look great in the Maju case as well. Shifting over to the other side of the room, I do have the 1-to-1 Sideshow Child. I like this thing a lot. I got him from my local comic book store used. Thought it was a good find, so I added him. And I'm a big Mandalorian fan, so yeah, I think the Child is a good one to have, whether it's Hot Toys or Sideshow. I think he looks great. I don't mind that he's pretty much a statue. Sliding over, we do have, speaking of statues, we have the 1-to-1 Nano Gauntlet from Endgame. And this is actually a Hot Toys product. And this is super cool because it does light up. I did do a video on this as well if you guys want to check that out on the channel. But this is one of my favorite props too, and especially when it's lit up and it kind of flickers like that, it just looks really, really good in the office. And then I do have some 1/8 scale Nickelodeon statues for the animated TMNT show. And you can kind of just see here, these things look great. Again, they're not 1/6, but they're close, and they are the animated series. So I like this better than the NECA figures just because I didn't have to pose them. They look natural, and you can just kind of set them on a shelf, and they kind of just, they speak volumes for themselves. I love the colors. I've got Shredder in the middle there. Another childhood favorite TV show. Above the Maju cases, I do have light boxes. We have the Dark Knight Trilogy. We have the Why So Serious Joker, which is pretty cool when it's lit up, as you can see. The Star Wars. These are all just so crisp and clean. They really add to a collection. And then we do have Marvel as well. That one is super, super bright. And a little extra treat for you guys. If I have any NFL fans in the house, I do have these mini helmets for each NFL team. I actually got these this fall and kind of for Christmas, and I finished it out. So this is really something that I've collected for a while too, is actually football helmets of all sizes. So really love those. All right, guys, well, there you have it. We do have the Maju cases set up, and we have the 6 110s right here, and then over on the other side of the room, we do have the DF 120s. They really do a great job at showing off your collection. So if you guys have any questions about Maju cases or how to display your collection, shoot me a message on Instagram or YouTube, and I'd love to try to answer it to the best of my ability. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of my collection. I've only been collecting for 3 years, so yes, it is on the smaller end, but I think it looks great, and I'm really, really proud of it. If you guys are new to the channel, again, just want to invite you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any new content or live streams. Until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.